Good morning and welcome back to D&B Outdoors. This is our part 2 of 2-part introduction. I now actually have my co-host, partner in crime, Sean, and he's going to kind of go over a little bit of his background and how he came into that love of the outdoors like myself. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to him now.
All right, like Mike said, I'm Sean. A little bit of background about me. Growing up, camping was always our family thing, our family vacation. At least every summer, we would find a lake, go camping. Always a good time. Always what we did.
Especially in the summer. I remember doing summer trips.
A lot. Summer, a lot.
In Arizona. Not fun.
Or Nevada we went to sometimes too, and it was still hot. Yeah, really hot.
A lot of swimming, a lot of beer.
well, not
when he was old enough. Yeah,
not at that point. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But anyway, always outdoors. Love the outdoors. When I was old enough, I joined the military. I joined the Army. Did 5 years active, 3 in reserve, and that's kind of where I got my love of firearms from. Before that, never owned a firearm. Once I got in the military, just got into shooting.
When you got into it,
Yep. Building, customizing, all that. Yep.
And that's about when he would start taking leave. He'd always stay with my wife and I. My wife's actually his sister.
Mm-hmm.
So on leave, he would always stay with us. And actually, at the time, I was working at another gun shop in Tempe.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was working at another gun shop because that's when he bought his very first pistol, Walther P22 from us.
Yeah,
right?
22 caliber pistol.
OD green one. Yep.
Yep.
That was the very first gun he ever bought. So at the time I was working at a gun shop, so I would get good discounts on it, and he'd come back on leave. He'd buy a firearm or two. About a year or two after being in the Army, I think about 2011 is when we both decided to buy a Mosin Nagant. When we bought him, we took him out like everybody and shot him a few times. Thought it was pretty cool, but wanted to upgrade him. Went online trying to find someone that did the bent bolts, and that's when we met George Tosin out of Scottsdale, Arizona, who actually ended up becoming a very, very close friend of ours. And he started customizing a couple Mosins for us, and I think that's what really sparked that next level of firearm love, where we started thinking, okay, maybe there's more to just buying a gun and shooting it. Let's actually do something with this. And we started really big into long range. We were always big into 22s, mainly because of cost.
Yep.
It was just cheap to buy the guns. It was cheap to buy the ammo. But that Mosin Nagant, or Mosin Nagant, if you want to say it right, that's what really sparked that, hey, let's take it to the next level. And George just happened to, actually, I think pretty much like we were his own kids, took us in and did a lot of work with us. I actually worked with him for a few years. He was really a good family friend. We'd take him out quite often. But once again, he's one that really sparked that love interest. After that, it kind of just snowballed from there. While Sean was in the military, he would always come back on leave, especially after deployment, and he'd buy a couple more guns, and they would just kind of stay back home. Then he got out, about 4 years ago?
About 4 years ago.
About 4 years ago, he finally got out, and now he's actually living about 5 minutes from us. So that's when we really, really started this, hey, every weekend, let's go do something outdoors. And we do. It does it from shooting to ATVs, camping. And we're actually at our main location that we camp, shoot long range. We ride ATVs out here. And we kind of wanted to film that part 2 introduction. That way you can kind of see what it is and where it is we go most of the time. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and hand over the camera to Sean. We're going to go ahead and film our area that we shoot. Now we are facing the sun, so it is going to be kind of hard to see. We'll do our best. The camera also works on a delay, so I'm going to try to point out locations of each target. But bear with me because it's on delay, and we tried it earlier. It's kind of difficult. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and get you guys out so you can see it. Get that. Hold it. There you go.
All right. Look at some of these targets.
Oh yeah. We forgot.
Here, hold that.
We're clipped in. Give us a second, guys. We're amateurs. Don't judge us.
Hey, we said we're doing everything on the budget, right?
There you go. You got the camera? Make sure the mic's right there, Keith. Okay, so if you see, pan left, okay, right there, Sean. We're going to start at the 900 yard line, and every one of these that we point to has a steel target on it. Some of them are silhouettes. The further ones out 1,200 yards and past are 30-inch steel targets. So the first one, which would be the 900, that is going to be, wow, too far, guys. Right there. I said it was hard. The mountain just to the right of it, that kind of smooth sloping mountain just to the right of that one, that's your 1,000-yard mark. Pan right a little, Sean. And then your 1,200 is going to be right about...
A little more. Right
there. And then to the right of that, the big mountain, that's our mile mark. Not the lighter colored one, the darker one right underneath my finger. That's the mile mark. Now we do have targets all the way from 300 to 500, 600. We got 2 at 1,250 yards and 1 at 1,500 yards. We've been coming out here, what, good
6 years probably.
Good 6 years. We put out a couple targets when we first got here, and that's when we met another friend of ours that started giving us, I mean, he supplied probably about 70% of the targets we have out there now. We do have flashing LED lights on the 1,200 and further targets. Some of the 1250 targets, they have flappers. It's an actual gallon jug.
Yep. So,
well, not an it's shaped as a gallon jug, but it's a flapper. That way you can actually kind of see it. But yeah, this is our big place we go to. We camp here, we ride, we obviously shoot. We're gonna kind of pan back so you can kind of see our shooting location. When Sean gets back here far enough, if you see just behind the 4Runner to the right of it, that's pretty much where we shoot. We a lot of prone. Obviously, the long range is a little harder to shoot any other way, but we basically shoot right here, facing the sun. And I mean, literally, we come out here at least 2-3 times a month.
Yep.
If not more. So we're gonna go ahead and turn the camera off, get some of our firearms out, and kind of go over that with you guys.